Welcome to Rays of Hope, where inspiration meets possibilities. Join us on this journey as we explore videos that illuminate the path to positivity, resilience, and success. In Part 2, we explore how rest restores the mind, heals the body, and renews the spirit, and why it's the key to a more balanced and meaningful life. There is a kind of rest that happens in small moments, a deep breath, a long sip of water, a pause to watch the rain. And there is a deeper rest, the kind that requires time and space. This is the rest of turning off the noise completely. The rest of stepping away from the screens, from the constant stream of information, from the need to be seen and heard and available. It is the rest of letting the world go on without you for a little while. Both kinds of rest matter. The small moments keep us steady in the middle of busy days. The longer ones allow us to truly renew. Without them, we become like a tree that never stops growing leaves, stretched thin, unable to nourish itself, eventually breaking under its own weight. In a world that moves without pause, rest becomes an act of rebellion. It is saying, I will not measure my worth by my speed. I will not live only for what I produce. I will live for moments, for presence, for the fullness of being alive. When we allow ourselves to rest, we give permission to others to do the same. We show that life does not have to be a constant race. We remind each other that slowing down is not the same as giving up. It is not weakness. It is wisdom. So perhaps the invitation today is simple. Step away for a moment. Feel your feet on the ground. Notice the way your breath moves without effort. Let your shoulders drop. Let your mind quiet. Let the noise fade, even for a few minutes. Because in the quiet, we remember. We remember who we are without all the rushing. We remember what matters beyond the deadlines. We remember that life is not something to be conquered, but something to be experienced. And when we return from rest, the world feels different. It is not that the problems are gone, but we face them with a steadier heart. It is not that the work is less, but we meet it with a clearer mind. We find that the strength we thought was gone was only waiting for us to pause long enough to find it again. Rest is where we gather that strength. It is where we heal. It is where we begin again. So, in this busy world, let us not wait for rest to find us. Let us choose it. Let us claim it as our right, our need, our gift to ourselves. Because in choosing rest, we choose life, not just the life we are rushing through, but the life we are meant to feel, fully, deeply, and without hurry. The importance of rest in a busy world, the world never seems to slow down. From the moment the sun rises, there is a rush in the air, footsteps hurrying, engines starting, voices calling, screens glowing. The pace is relentless, and the message is constant. Keep going, keep moving, keep achieving. In this race, rest often feels like a weakness. We tell ourselves we will rest when the work is done, when the goals are reached, when there is time. But the truth is, the work is never truly done. There will always be another task, another deadline, another demand waiting for us. And so, rest becomes something we postpone, something we try to fit in the cracks of our busy lives. But rest is not an extra. It is not a gift we give ourselves after we have proven our worth. Rest is essential. It is as necessary as food, as water, as air. Without it, we cannot think clearly. We cannot feel deeply. We cannot live fully. Rest is not just the act of sleeping at night. It is the deliberate pause in the middle of our days. It is the moment we allow our minds to wander, the deep breath we take before we answer, the stillness we invite into a restless heart. Rest is stepping outside and feeling the sun without rushing to be somewhere else. Rest is sitting with a cup of tea, not to get something done, but simply to be. The modern world has taught us to measure our value in hours worked, in boxes checked, in how much we can endure before we finally break. We wear our exhaustion like a medal. We speak with pride about how little we slept, how much we sacrificed, how we pushed through. But behind this pride is a quiet truth we don't like to face. Without rest, we lose ourselves. Our patience wears thin. Our thoughts grow heavy. Our joy fades into the background. Nature understands the balance we have forgotten. The tide moves in and out. The moon waxes and wanes. The earth itself rests in winter, gathering strength for the spring. Nothing in nature blooms all year long, and yet we expect ourselves to do so. We push for constant productivity, constant growth, constant action, and in doing so, we strip ourselves of the very energy we need to live with purpose. Rest is not the opposite of productivity. It is the foundation of it. When the mind is quiet, it begins to heal. It begins to see clearly again. It begins to connect dots it could not see before. Some of the most brilliant ideas in history have not come in moments of frantic effort, but in moments of stillness, a walk through the woods, a quiet afternoon, a long gaze out the window. Our bodies, too, speak in the language of rest. They tell us when we need to slow down. They whisper through aching muscles, through heavy eyelids, through the dull ache of fatigue that no amount of coffee can fix. When we ignore these whispers, they grow louder, in the form of illness, burnout, and emotional exhaustion. Rest is an act of care, not only for ourselves but for the people around us. When we are rested, we are kinder. We listen better. We love more patiently. We think with greater clarity. We bring more of our true selves into our relationships. And yet, resting requires courage. It requires saying no to the endless demands of the world. It requires breaking free from the belief that our worth is tied to our output. It requires trusting that slowing down will not make us fall behind, but will allow us to move forward with greater strength. There is a quiet power in closing your eyes for a moment in the middle of the day. There is a beauty in letting the phone stay silent, in stepping outside without an agenda, in lying down without guilt. These are small acts, but they are powerful declarations. I am more than my busyness. I am a human being, not just a human doing. Rest restores more than just energy. It restores perspective. It reminds us of what matters most. It allows us to notice the little things, the way the light falls across the floor, the sound of rain on the roof, the rhythm of our own breathing. These details, so easy to miss when we are rushing, are what give life its richness. There will always be more to do. There will always be more noise, more urgency, more demands. But if we wait until the world slows down to rest, we will wait forever. The choice must be ours. We must choose to step back, even while the world moves forward. And when we do, we discover something beautiful. The world does not fall apart when we rest. Life continues. The work is still there when we return, but we face it differently. We face it with a clearer mind, a calmer heart, and a steadier spirit. Rest is not wasted time. It is time well spent. It is the pause that makes the music possible, the stillness that allows the dancer to leap again, the silence that gives meaning to the words. So, let us reclaim rest. Let us close our eyes and listen to the quiet inside us. Let us find joy not only in doing, but in being. Let us remember that we are not here to simply survive the rush of life, but to feel it fully, and to feel it fully, we must sometimes slow down. Because in the end, rest is not the end of the journey. Rest is what gives us the strength to keep going. Rest is where we gather the courage to try again. Rest is where we find ourselves, again and again, in a busy world that is so easy to get lost in. Thank you for joining us on this uplifting journey with Rays of Hope. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe to stay tuned for more videos that spark hope and empowerment. Until next time, keep shining brightly. Thank you for watching.